Archangel Michael showed you what was hiding behind their compliments, and it wasn't admiration. There comes a moment in every soul's walk where the veil is torn not by pain, not by chaos, but by a whisper from heaven. That whisper comes in stillness, in divine silence, where noise cannot compete and distractions fall powerless. This message, this word, was released by Archangel Michael in a divine hour, an hour not counted by clocks, but by kingdom timing. It was not meant for yesterday, and it cannot wait for tomorrow. It is for now. You were not supposed to hear this before, because you would have misinterpreted it. But now you're ready. Now your spirit has matured. Now your discernment has caught up with your destiny. Behind the velvet glove of certain compliments, there hides a serpent's tongue. Behind the smiles, there is strategy. Behind the praise, there are spiritual intentions that do not align with heaven. An Archangel Michael has been dispatched to pull the curtain back. What once looked like admiration, what once sounded like support, what once felt like love, is being revealed in truth, not to shame you, but to shield you. This is not paranoia. This is prophecy, and you must not ignore it. Some of you have felt the tension rise when certain people spoke kindly to you. You smiled back, but your spirit winced. You thanked them outwardly, but inwardly something recoiled. That's not anxiety. That's revelation. That's divine insight sharpening your spiritual senses. The Spirit of God is not in confusion. He is in clarity. He is not in flattery. He is in truth. And truth always exposes what falsehood tries to decorate. Archangel Michael comes not with a sword of revenge, but a sword of revelation. Because you must see before you can step. You must discern before you decide. You must hear what heaven hears, and feel what the Spirit feels. Heaven did not allow this moment to pass you by because your assignment is too precious. Your heart is too sacred, and your calling is too weighty to be derailed by hidden agendas masked as admiration. This word is not for everyone. Not all will hear it. Not all will believe it. But you, yes, you, who have been sensing the shift, the unease, the spiritual tension, you felt it. You've been marked by it. That sensation is not fear, it is divine caution. It is heaven saying, pay attention. Do not ignore what I'm revealing. Because to ignore it would be to surrender territory. And this territory is not just emotional, it is spiritual. Stillness, obedience, and listening, these are your weapons now. Not arguments, not over-explaining, not confrontation. No, beloved, the next move is not yours, it's heaven's. You must be still. You must obey. You must listen. For in the quiet, heaven is loud. In obedience there is overflow. And in listening, there is protection. Archangel Michael has arrived with the authority of divine timing. And with that authority, he tears down what was hiding in plain sight. You are about to see who they really are. You are about to recognize that what looked like admiration was actually access. Access they were never meant to have. You are not being warned to cause fear. You are being warned to prepare, to watch, to discern, and to trust. Type I am anointed in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. The moment has arrived. The veil is lifting. The illusions that once cloaked your discernment are being torn down, and the holy fire of revelation is now burning away the camouflage of false intentions. Archangel Michael steps forward, not in shadows, not in hints, but in the full light of divine truth. He comes not to stir fear, but to release clarity, protection, and holy confrontation. What you could not see before, you will see now. By the rising of the next sun, your eyes will be sharpened, your spirit strengthened, and your discernment unshakable. This is the hour of divine exposure. This is the hour of sacred separation. You were not mistaken. You were not too sensitive. You were not imagining things. That subtle unease you felt when they smiled, that internal hesitation when they praised you, it was not a weakness. It was spiritual intel. It was heaven tapping your shoulder saying, "Look deeper." And now, Archangel Michael confirms what your spirit had been whispering. Their compliments were not admiration, they were camouflage. Their praise was not honor, it was positioning. They sought access, not alignment. And heaven could no longer remain silent. Divine authority now speaks. And if you are still, if you are obedient, if you lean in with listening ears, you will understand the urgency behind this word. This message was not randomly timed. It did not come as a coincidence. It was carved into the timeline of your destiny before you even knew you'd need it. Heaven has interrupted your routine, your thoughts, your scrolling, your rest, to speak. Because what is at stake is not just emotional comfort. It is your spiritual territory. This is not just a word of warning. This is a spiritual summons. Archangel Michael does not appear unless a line hath been crossed. He does not move unless a threat had been detected. He does not speak unless silence would be too dangerous. His appearance in your life right now is not symbolic. It is strategic. This message is not ornamental, it is warfare. It is weaponry. It is divine revelation wrapped in fire and discernment. And here's the holy truth. You've already sensed it. You've already seen the inconsistencies. They praised you publicly, but their spirit competed with you privately. They smiled at your success, but behind closed doors, they measured themselves against it. Your compliments became more frequent the more distant you became, and you thought you were being paranoid. But you weren't. You were being prepared. By sunrise, something will shift in you. You will no longer crave their approval, nor doubt your instincts. The Holy Spirit is removing your dependency on their validation, because it was never meant to sustain you. Their admiration was never oil for your lamp. It was a distraction sent to dim your flame. And Archangel Michael says, "Enough." Heaven is no longer allowing this deception to dance around your discernment. You are being called higher, and with that call comes revelation. You must see people through spiritual lenses, not emotional memories. You must evaluate not by the sweetness of their words, but by the atmosphere their presence brings. If peace does not follow them, neither should you. If your spirit tightens when they speak, do not dismiss it. For heaven does not lie, and heaven does not guess. Heaven knows. This moment is sacred. Not everyone will receive it. Not everyone will understand it. But if you feel a fire in your chest right now, a tightening in your spirit, a stillness flooding over your thoughts, that's your confirmation. The divine realm is near, and the angelic has drawn its sword. You felt the unease in their presence lately, and you were right to. You thought something was off, and it was. Their admiration was conditional. Their support was strategic. Their closeness was not covenant. It was control. But now, by divine decree, Archangel Michael is cutting the cords. You are no longer bound to their flattery. You are no longer seduced by their compliments. You are no longer accessible to their schemes. Let them speak. Let them smile. Let them flatter. Would you stay rooted. You stay grounded. You stay hidden under the wings of the Almighty. Let Archangel Michael go before you. Let the Spirit guard behind you. Let discernment rise within you. Because what's coming next will not be handled in the flesh. It will be handled in the Spirit and in stillness. This is the hour of truth. This is the moment of unveiling. Listen in stillness. Move in wisdom. And prepare your spirit, for by morning you will never see them the same again. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 777 is now activated. Why do their compliments feel off lately? Why does something inside you tighten when they speak so kindly? Why do your spirit and your senses pull back, even while your ears hear words of praise? You are not crazy. You are not ungrateful. You are not broken. You are discerning, and what you're feeling is not fear, it's forewarning. Heaven is trying to interrupt your comfort to keep you from calamity. Archangel Michael is peeling back the spiritual illusion that has kept you second-guessing yourself. The mystery you've been carrying, that gut-level discomfort when certain people speak well of you, is being divinely decoded. They smile, but something behind it doesn't feel pure. They clap for you, but your spirit feels watched, not celebrated. It's as if every time they affirm you, your soul contracts instead of expands. That's not bitterness, that's holy caution. That's your spirit shielding your heart. You're not imagining this contradiction. You're spiritually perceiving something others may miss. Because when praise is laced with manipulation, when compliments are used to bait your trust, when approval becomes a form of positioning, heaven notices. And now, Archangel Michael is giving language to the ache that's been sitting in your chest. Some conversations don't leave you in peace. They linger like shadows, stirring unease in your spirit. Their words echo after the moment ends, not because they inspired you, but because they unsettled you. You replay the conversation not to cherish it, but to dissect it. And deep inside, you know, something isn't right. That's not paranoia, that's prophecy in disguise. The Lord has been speaking softly, gently, persistently. And now, the silence breaks with divine fire. Archangel Michael has been watching, hovering near, dispatched by divine order to stand at your side. He saw the moment their smile didn't match their spirit. He marked the hour when their words turned from affirmation to infiltration. Because this was never just about you being liked. It was about your spiritual territory being targeted. You were never the goal. Your calling was. Your peace was. Your spiritual momentum was. Your praise was bait. Bait to get closer. Bait to disarm you. Bait to harvest what heaven never gave them access to. And had it not been for divine intervention, had it not been for the unease that shook your spirit awake, they might have succeeded in walking into places reserved only for covenant connections. This is why the unease intensified. This is why you started noticing inconsistencies. Because what your eyes couldn't see, your spirit already knew. You started to feel strange after certain conversations, not because of what was said, but because of what was hidden underneath. Their eyes sparkled, but your soul shrank. Their laughter rang out, but your spirit didn't dance with it. That's the difference between celebration and surveillance. And Archangel Michael says, do not ignore what your soul detects. The Lord is using this disruption to deepen your discernment. Because this isn't about personality, this is about protection. This isn't about being liked, this is about being preserved. Not every admirer is harmless. Some are sent to study, not to support. Some come as messengers but carry no mantle. And you, beloved, are under divine surveillance, not theirs but heaven's. And heaven is not passive about what belongs to it. Something inside you is stirring now. Something deeper than thought. Something louder than words. The Holy Spirit is waking up your watchman. He is calling forth your spiritual sight. You are being invited to trust your inner knowing, to stop doubting your discernment, to stand firm in what your spirit already said yes or no to. This is not a warning to isolate. It is an invitation to insulate. Insulate your heart. Insulate your purpose. Insulate your peace. Heaven is not asking you to retreat. It's asking you to reset. Let their words fall fly. Let their compliments bounce off the shield of discernment. You don't need their validation. You need God's vision. And right now, the vision is clear. Watch them without worshiping them. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $10. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Don't forget to subscribe for more spiritually prophetic insights, divine timing messages, and holy discernment sessions. Type "I am shielded" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1444 is surrounding you now. This isn't about feelings, this is about foresight. The battle you're sensing is not being waged in your emotions. It's unfolding in the realm of the spirit. This isn't personal conflict. It's prophetic confrontation. What's happening is far deeper than awkward conversations or subtle shifts in tone. It is war. Silent, strategic, spiritual war. And in this war, flattery is a weapon. Manipulation wears the robe of admiration. And Archangel Michael says clearly, this is a test of discernment, not just affection. Do not look at their words. Look at their witness. Do not cling to their compliments. Test their consistency. Because this is not the hour to be charmed. This is the hour to be clear. And clarity only comes when you ask heaven, not humans, for truth. The war you're fighting right now isn't loud, it's insidious. It flatters. It pacifies. It disarms. It's how spiritual warfare operates when it wants to access rather than destroy. Because not every enemy comes with a sword. Some come with a smile. And some traps are wrapped in applause. They want proximity, not to celebrate you, but to monitor you. They speak life to your face but study your weaknesses in silence. This is why God is revealing them now. Not because He wants you to retaliate, but because He wants you to recognize. Recognition is your defense. Awareness is your armor. Archangel Michael says your silence is your strategy. Let them interpret it how they want. You're not obligated to explain what God has revealed. You've been targeted because you carry something rare. Light, favor, fire, and darkness always seeks to snuff out what it cannot copy. You don't owe them access. You don't owe them explanation. What you carry is holy, and you're being called to guard it. Because this isn't about them. It never was. It's about your calling. This moment is refining your discernment for the next level. God is training you not just to hear what is said, but to sense what is not. You are being upgraded from emotional interpreter to spiritual discerner. The difference is critical. Because where you're going, flattery will increase. Eyes will turn to you. Words will try to get inside your gates. And if you can discern now, in this level, you'll have dominion in the next. Archangel Michael has seen your restraint. Heaven has seen your silence. And both are being rewarded. Your silence was not weakness. It was wisdom. Your restraint was not fear, it was obedience. God saw the moments you chose not to clap back, not to confront, not to expose. And because you stayed aligned, heaven is now stepping in to reveal what your words never had to. Heaven says this battle does not belong to you. It belongs to the Lord. So you don't need to fight with words. You don't need to call them out. You don't need to prove you were right. Heaven is proving it for you. The silence that once felt like suppression is now working as your shield. You were never being ignored. You were being protected. This is not about them. It's about what you carry. It's about the next level. It's about what your obedience is unlocking. So do not be distracted. Do not be provoked. Do not be lured into unnecessary emotional warfare. This is not personal. It is prophetic. And Archangel Michael has come to make sure your vision stays clear. The conflict they tried to stir was never about your personality. It was about your purpose. It was about your oil. It was about your access to heavenly strategy. And now that you know, do not return to ignorance. Do not water down what God is revealing. Do not sugarcoat what heaven is sharpening. Stand firm. Stay hidden. And watch how God handles what tried to handle you. Type "I am discerning" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1010 is now covering your decisions. Pay close attention now. This is the hour of acceleration, both in revelation and in warfare. Archangel Michael is no longer whispering. He is sounding a trumpet in the realm of the Spirit. The timeline is narrowing. You are entering a 72-hour window where what has been hidden will begin to expose itself through subtle but undeniable shifts. You must stay spiritually awake. The ones who flattered you will soon show their frustration. Their admiration, now denied access, will turn sour. Their tone will shift. Their posture will change. And heaven says, be ready. You are not being warned to provoke fear. You are being briefed for battle. This is your divine alert. Heaven is not reacting. Heaven is preparing. And in this moment of preparation, you must understand their compliments were a strategy, a form of spiritual seduction. They were never praising you to honor you. They were praising you to draw close, to gain intel, to access grace they were not assigned to carry. But now that heaven has cut the cord, they will react. Expected. Do not be surprised when their tone grows colder. Do not be shaken when their messages come less frequently or more calculated. The absence of their praise will reveal the presence of their pride, because people who use flattery as currency feel entitled to control. And when control is denied, retaliation begins, often not loudly, but subtly. They may distance themselves, speak half-truths, weaponize silence, or stir confusion. But you must not be moved. You must recognize these behaviors not as rejection, but as revelation. You were never meant to perform for their approval. You were never meant to remain digestible to their ego. And now that you've pulled back, now that the divine has exposed their motives, you will begin to see their mask slip. You will hear contradictions in their words. You will sense new tension when they speak. This is not coincidence. This is confirmation. Within the next 72 hours, someone will attempt to reestablish access. They will test your boundaries. They will try to see if the gate is still open. But do not answer emotionally. Do not confront in frustration. Heaven says observe without engaging. This is the moment when spiritual maturity must prevail. Their next move is not for you to counter. It is for you to witness. Because heaven is recording it. God is watching their heart, not just their hands. The mask is thinning. The disguise is failing. They cannot hold up the image anymore. Because when access is cut and their words no longer manipulate, the real character emerges. You are not responsible for correcting them. You are responsible for remaining obedient. Let them reveal themselves. Let their own fruit speak. You are not the judge, you are the witness. And Archangel Michael has declared this hour as one of exposure and spiritual sorting. Be mindful of sudden emotional waves. Be cautious with random conversations that seem innocent but feel intrusive. These are not harmless. These are tests. These are traps. You're not paranoid. You are positioned. God is sharpening your discernment not to make you distant, but to make you dangerous. Dangerous to the realm of darkness that thought it could enter unnoticed. And now, the armor is being fitted. Archangel Michael is tightening the belt of truth around your waist, placing the helmet of salvation on your head, and handing you the sword of the Spirit, not to attack, but to discern. You are not stepping into a battlefield with blood and noise. You are stepping into a silent war where only the Spirit will lead you. Something hidden is going to confront you, but it won't be able to touch you. The confrontation will come through energy, behavior, words masked in sweetness, or opportunities laced with hidden strings. But you will know. You will feel it. And when you do, speak nothing. Say nothing. Act not. Because silence is your shield and wisdom is your fortress. This hour is sacred. This window is strategic. Let heaven move. Let Michael war. Let your posture be stillness and your weapon be discernment. Because in 72 hours, something in your reality and in your spirit will shift permanently. Type I am awake in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1155 is now securing your spirit. Be still, not because you are passive, but because you are powerful. Heaven is speaking loudly through silence now, and the instruction is clear. Do not respond. A temptation will come. The emotional pull will rise. But Archangel Michael says, your silence is your sword. There are moments when divine protection is not displayed through force, but through withdrawal. And now is one of those moments. What you do not engage cannot entangle you, and what you do not respond to cannot redirect you. The Spirit of God says, be still and know that I am God. This is not a call to do nothing. It is a call to do only what heaven authorizes, to speak only when Spirit leads, to move only when discernment confirms. Your silence is not void. It is filled with fire. It is filled with angels. It is filled with divine activity. While you rest in stillness, heaven is waging war on your behalf. Do not explain yourself. Do not defend yourself. Do not try to convince them of your purity. You owe no one access to your inner gate simply because they once praised you. Pull back emotionally. Detach spiritually. Re-anchor yourself in God. This is a sacred retreat, not an escape. It's a repositioning for your protection. And here is a holy truth. What they tried to access was never even about you. It was about what you carry. You carry light. You carry destiny. You carry divine strategy that threatens the realm of darkness. That's why the flattery came. It was an attempt to disarm you through affection. But now heaven has blocked that attempt, and your only job is to stay hidden. Archangel Michael surrounds you in fire, not to destroy, but to shield. This fire is your camouflage. It makes you invisible to the manipulator. It blinds the eyes of those seeking your fall. It confuses the whispers of those strategizing in secret. This is not fear. This is divine hiding. You are being hidden. not because you are weak, but because you are valuable. When they ask, say little. When they push, step back. When they smile with questions hidden in their praise, respond with grace, but nothing more. Your power is not in your response. Your power is in your restraint. The less you say, the more heaven does. The less you explain, the more God reveals. This is holy reversal. Let them talk, and let heaven speak through your silence. Begin to declare, I am hidden in divine protection. Say it aloud. Let it root in your spirit. Let it become your new atmosphere. Your mouth does not need to be your defense. The throne is. God is speaking where your words are withheld. He is revealing what your explanations cannot. This is not the season to argue. It is the season to ascend. Stillness is not weakness. It is strategy. Obedience is not delay. It is alignment. And alignment opens doors that noise never could. While you step back, God is stepping in. While you pull away, angels are pressing forward. While you say less, the Spirit is saying more. You are covered. You are surrounded. You are sealed in light. Let your yes be to heaven, not to habit. Let your agreement be with God, not guilt. Archangel Michael says clearly, let the battle rage without your voice, and you will see victory without lifting a hand. Speak only when Spirit leads, not emotion. Move only when peace precedes, not pressure. And in all things, stay hidden. Because what's happening now in the Spirit is bigger than what your mind can calculate. God is doing something behind the veil, and your silence is opening the way. Type I am hidden in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1333 is now guarding your next move. There is a shift happening now, and it is not random. It is not subtle. It is not negotiable. The heavens have marked you for transition, and in the realm of the Spirit, you are no longer who you used to be. The compliments that once carried weight now sound hollow. The praise that once lifted you now rings false. You are evolving, and those who once surrounded you can feel it. But rather than rejoice, they are recoiling, because your evolution has made you unrecognizable to those who only knew the former version of you. And Archangel Michael says this plainly, let them misunderstand your silence. While you rise, you have outgrown their perception. The version of you that accepted flattery as love, that mistook attention for loyalty, that welcomed every compliment as confirmation, that version has been laid to rest. A new you is emerging. A version refined by fire, sharpened by betrayal, and elevated through obedience. You no longer need to be seen to know you're significant. You no longer require applause to feel affirmed. You no longer crave their words, because now you live by the word. Let them think you're distant. Let them call you proud. Let them say you've changed, because you have. What they call arrogance, heaven calls anointing. What they call aloofness, God calls assignment. You are not who they once praised, and that's the threat. The praise was easy when you were small, when you were quiet, when you weren't easily influenced. But now you carry authority, and now you speak with weight. Now your presence shifts atmospheres, and those who used compliments to control you are losing grip. Archangel Michael says, do not return to the room you've outgrown just because they offered sweet words at the door. Their flattery is no longer fuel, it's a fog, and heaven is burning it away so you can see clearly. You are not being isolated, you are being insulated. Insulated for destiny, insulated for impact, insulated for the war you didn't choose, but were chosen for. They don't fear you because you're loud. They fear you because you're disciplined. They don't envy you because you're visible. They envy you because you're stable. What scares the realm of darkness isn't your talent. It's your restraint. It's the way you've learned to speak only when Spirit says so. It's the way you've trained your reactions to bow before the Lord. It's the way you pray instead of posting, fast instead of fighting, and walk away instead of retaliating. You have become dangerous to hell, and hell knows it. So let your wings stretch. Let them grow in the same places that once bled. Let your healing become your new altitude. The scars they tried to mock have become evidence of your upgrade. You are not reachable by flattery anymore. You are not weakened by false praise. You are rooted. You are rising. You are redefined. This is the hour where your silence speaks louder than your sentences. This is the hour where your posture preaches, where your absence from the wrong tables is more powerful than your presence at the wrong celebrations. You do not need to announce your transition. Heaven already has. The realm of the Spirit has already shifted on your behalf. Archangel Michael is standing guard, not because you are in danger, but because your next level is too important to be tampered with. Let them gossip. Let them guess. Let them wonder. Because your destiny is not their business, and your elevation was never theirs to approve. God is your promoter. Heaven is your audience, and obedience is your weapon. You are no longer reachable by flattery or fear. You are not led by compliments. You are led by covenant. You are not triggered by critics. You are anchored by truth. This is the new you, the rising you, the fire-tested, Spirit-filled, angel-backed version of you. And you will not return to the prison of needing to be understood by those who were never assigned to your future. Type "I am rising" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1221 is empowering your next move. What you're walking through now is not destruction. It's divine disclosure. Heaven isn't punishing you. Heaven is positioning you. What felt like betrayal is actually a key. What looked like abandonment is actually a door. What stung in your emotions is birthing strength in your spirit. And Archangel Michael stands to proclaim this. The conflict you're facing is not your undoing. It's your unlocking. There is a shaking taking place. People are revealing themselves. Masks are falling. Praise is turning to passivity. Affirmation is turning into avoidance. The shift is happening fast, and it's by divine design. Because the Father is not waiting any longer to elevate those who are faithful. He is clearing the air around you. He is cleaning the space beside you. Because where you're going, only covenant connections can go. Only clean hearts. Only pure motives. Only truth-filled spirits. They were never the blessing. They were the mirror. They came into your life not to elevate you, but to reflect where you were. And now that you've grown, the mirror is showing the distortion. Their words were always conditional. Their loyalty was always fragile. And now that you're no longer who you were, the connection has cracked. But don't grieve, rejoice. Because this fracture is favor. This severing is safety. This unveiling is victory. Archangel Michael says, your name is known in heaven. You have been discussed. Your file has been reviewed. And the judgment over your life is elevation. You have been approved for advancement. Not because you fought back, but because you held your peace. Not because you shouted, but because you stood still. The silence that once made you feel overlooked is now the very foundation of your reward. This betrayal was necessary, not because God delights in pain, but because He uses what the enemy meant for evil to develop what He destined for greatness. The people who once clapped for you were not equipped to cover you. The ones who spoke well of you were never qualified to walk with you. And now heaven is showing you, not to shame them, but to shield you. You were not being punished, you were being promoted. This tension is heaven's way of releasing you from people who cannot carry the weight of your mantle. And what's coming next will require room. Room in your heart. Room in your circle. Room in your energy. God is clearing out the counterfeit so he can release the covenant. This is your prophetic moment. This is the hour when you must declare, I am chosen. I am called. I am covered. No more hidden. No more second-guessing. No more mislabeling warfare as weakness. You are rising, and heaven is releasing more clarity than ever before. What you mistook as admiration was actually assignment from the wrong kingdom. They were sent to derail, distract, and delay. But God intercepted the strategy. He routed the influence. He exposed the scheme. And now the one who tried to sabotage you with flattery hath been denied access, not by your hand, but by God's. Let your posture be gratitude. Let your mindset be victory. You are standing in a holy moment, a spiritual elevation that was birthed through discernment. You didn't win by fighting. You won by seeing. And now that you see, you can no longer return to blindness. This is your call to stay awake. Archangel Michael stands behind you, sword drawn, path cleared. There's no going back. There is no watering down. There is only forward, in strength, in truth, in power. If this message poured into you and you feel led to support, consider giving a super thanks with a contribution of up to $20. Every offering fuels the creation of content that sharpens, shields, and strengthens you. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Don't forget to subscribe for more spiritually led revelations, divine discernment, and angelic insight that speaks directly to your journey. Type I am promoted in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 8888 is now unfolding around you. Declare it now. Say it out loud in your atmosphere. Let heaven hear it. Let hell tremble under it. Let every lie that ever tried to silence your voice dissolve in its echo. I am aligned. I am rising. I am chosen. These are not mere words. These are spiritual codes. These are divine affirmations that summon angelic attention and shift the frequency of your environment. You are not just stepping into another day. You are stepping into destiny alignment. Archangel Michael has come to enforce heaven's decree over your life. The delay is over. The detour is done, and the doors are opening. What you feel inside, that stirring, that trembling, that fire beginning to glow again, that is not anxiety. That is destiny igniting. You are walking in what you were once praying for. And though the path required the unveiling of impostors and the removal of counterfeits, the reward is far greater than the loss. Heaven did not ask you to suffer for nothing. The pruning had purpose. The silence had strategy. The betrayal had blueprints coded within it. Every ounce of pain was packed with a holy assignment. This is not the season to apologize for your acceleration. This is the season to occupy. No more shrinking to make others feel comfortable. No more self-editing to remain likable. No more adjusting your vision to stay digestible to those without spiritual appetite. Your calling demands clarity now. Your assignment requires boldness now. You are being summoned out of the shadows of doubt and into the spotlight of divine purpose. The oil on your life cannot be hidden any longer. Heaven waits on your agreement. not your hesitation, not your overthinking, not your insecurity, your agreement. That moment when your spirit rises and says, "Yes, Lord, I will go, I will speak, I will stand." That is the key that turns the lock. That is the sound that mobilizes angels. That is the posture that breaks the ceiling. The gates are open, but you must walk. Do not delay your destiny trying to soothe those who refuse to grow with you. Do not stay in conversations that God already closed in the Spirit. You don't need everyone to understand. You just need to obey. Heaven will validate what man cannot comprehend. The shift you feel, that divine tension between your comfort zone and your calling, it's not confusion. It's confirmation. It's divine momentum pressing you forward, even when your mind says wait. Don't confuse unfamiliarity with misalignment. Where God is calling you may feel new, but it is right. Archangel Michael is already clearing the path ahead of you. He is removing the wrong voices from your circle, the wrong doors from your route, and the wrong options from your view. The distractions you once chased will begin to lose their grip. The validation you once sought will begin to feel hollow. That's because God is birthing something eternal in you, and eternity cannot be sustained by ego. The next level of your life must be built on obedience, not opinion. Now is the moment to act. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Not when everyone agrees. Now. Because now is the divine window. Now is when the favor rests. Now is when the anointing is ripe. Heaven responds to now. And obedience births overflow, not later, not eventually, immediately when the Spirit aligns. Say it again with authority. I am aligned. I am rising. I am chosen. You're not just saying it for yourself, you're saying it for your bloodline, for your future, for every gate that was once shut in your face and is now about to burst open. This is destiny activation, not by force but by faith. Type "I am aligned" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1919 is now unlocking doors in your favor. There is a realm beyond your natural vision, and in that realm, movement is happening. In that realm, justice is already in motion. In that realm, heaven is not passive. Heaven is active. The moment you were betrayed, the angels took notes. The moment they smiled while envying your light, the scribes of heaven recorded it. The moment you said nothing, while you wanted to scream, heaven registered it as righteousness. You didn't lose. You didn't miss your moment. You were part of a silent exchange in the spirit realm. While you slept, heaven watched. While you were unaware, angels stood post around your soul. While you doubted your own worth, the courts of heaven were preparing a decree with your name on it. And now, that decree is being released. Archangel Michael has drawn his sword, not to defend you from physical enemies, but to confront the spiritual structures that tried to steal what was yours in silence. They thought because you said nothing, they won. But heaven knows better. The spirit realm doesn't require public proof. It deals in unseen justice. What was taken from you is being returned. Not just returned, but multiplied. Not just restored, but exalted. Because your posture before God did not go unnoticed. While you smiled in their face, angels stood behind you, recording every gesture, every false compliment, every act of passive control they tried to exercise. And now, the documentation is being presented before the throne. Your restraint was holy. Your silence was sacred. And your pain is being turned into prophetic power. God never wastes wounds. He converts them. There is a divine transfer taking place. What was delayed is being released. What was blocked is being cleared. What was broken is being healed. You may not feel it all at once, but you will see the evidence. Sudden favor, unexplainable peace, rapid revelation, shifts in atmosphere when you walk into the room, doors opening that you never applied for, people being removed without your effort. All of it evidence of the silent exchange. The spirit realm saw the slight, and now it is shifting. The heavens are not neutral in your story. God has a stake in your purpose. He will not allow what he planted to be poisoned by the spirit of manipulation. Archangel Michael is standing between you and every word curse spoken in the dark, every backhanded compliment, every subtle sabotage. It is being reversed. You don't need to avenge yourself, because heaven is already handing down judgment. Your restlessness in this season has not been without reason. That unsettled feeling, that urgency to move, that inner knowing that something is about to break. It's all connected. You are feeling the tension of a spiritual relocation. You are being repositioned. Heaven is reassigning you. The rooms you once had to fight to enter, now they are opening. The tables where you once sat in silence, now you will speak with authority. Your destiny has been recalibrated, and everything that was out of place is falling into order. But not through striving, through surrender. You're not striving for status. You're surrendering for strength. You're not begging for favor. You're embodying purpose. The spirit is moving, and your job is to stay aligned. Heaven does the heavy lifting. Do not second-guess the silence. In the spirit realm, silence is loud. Your stillness is a declaration. Your peace is a prophecy. Your trust is a testimony. The war you didn't fight with your mouth is being won in the courts of heaven. Your reward is closer than you realize. Don't rush it. Don't doubt it. Don't diminish it. Receive it. Type "I am repositioned" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 2000 is now moving through your life with divine strategy. The tables are turning, not by your might, not by your hand, but by heaven's decree. The shift you've been sensing in your spirit is not just personal, it is judicial. A spiritual verdict has been passed. The courts of heaven have ruled in your favor, and now justice is being served in silence. The very ones who misuse their words to wrap you in false praise are now being confronted, not by you, but by the Spirit of God himself. Archangel Michael speaks now with holy clarity. What they plotted is returning to their own gates. Every word that was laced in manipulation, every compliment that carrying covert envy, every smile that was really surveillance, it is being reversed. Heaven has pulled the file. The falsehoods spoken behind closed doors are now under review in the high court of the spirit realm. You may not have seen them slander you, but God heard it all. You may not have responded when the subtle digs were thrown, but the angels were recording every single one. Spiritual justice is not always loud. It doesn't come with public spectacles or raging storms. Sometimes it arrives quietly, silently, strategically. One connection closes. One opportunity fades. One plan of theirs backfires. And suddenly, they feel what they once made you feel. Confusion, loss, silence, displacement. That's not karma. That's divine justice. That is God himself being your defender. The vengeance of the Lord is never chaotic. It is perfect, precise, measured, and unstoppable. You don't need revenge. You need rhythm. The rhythm of heaven. The cadence of obedience. The pulse of trust. Stay in step with the Spirit, and watch how the ones who once tried to gain control through flattery are now losing their grip, not because you exposed them, but because their own fruit is speaking louder than their compliments ever did. Your access is being revoked, and you won't even have to say a word. Because when heaven shuts a door, no man, no demon, no manipulator could open it again. The insult they released in whispers will be answered in clarity. The belittling they masked as humor will be silenced by divine validation. The sabotage they disguised as support will now unravel before them. And you, yes, you, will be publicly honored in the same spaces where you were privately overlooked. You will be lifted in the same environments where you were once silenced. This is the reversal. This is the vindication. This is the word of the Lord. Heaven does not allow mocking of his chosen vessels without consequence. You are not just a vessel, you are a voice. You are not just a dreamer, you are a destiny carrier. And the weight you carry demands justice. The oil on your life will no longer be mishandled. Your peace will no longer be preyed upon. Your vulnerability will no longer be weaponized. Because now, the hand of the Lord is resting on you with fresh fire, and everything hidden in darkness is being dragged into the light. There is a divine rewriting of reputation occurring even now. Your name is being washed. Your character is being restored. Not by gossip, not by exposure, but by reversal. The same ones who once misunderstood you will witness your elevation, and some of them will have no choice but to acknowledge what they once tried to diminish. Archangel Michael stands at the gates, not to let them in, but to keep them out. Not in vengeance, but in victory. Because this time, your protection will not be invisible. It will be evident. God is closing the mouths of lions. He is silencing the whispers of sabotage. And he is raising up a standard so high, no tongue formed against you will prosper. What was meant to break you is now building your platform. What was sent to distract you is now confirming your direction. And what was used to confuse you is now clarifying your calling. You are moving from harm to honor, from discarded to divinely displayed, from silenced to spiritually seated in the authority God has always prepared for you. If this message has ignited something in you and you feel led to support, consider sowing a super thanks. Even just $5 makes a difference. Your gift empowers us to keep delivering divine, powerful messages like this. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the Support Here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Be sure to subscribe for more spiritually charged revelations and timely prophetic insight crafted to meet you in your exact season. Type "I am vindicated" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 7070 has now been released over your life. You are not the same. You are not who you were when they praised you. You are not the version of yourself who sought their approval, who leaned into their compliments, who questioned your discernment in the name of keeping the peace. You have been refined. You have been tested. You have been transformed. And now, Archangel Michael seals this entire journey, not with noise, but with fire. Not with closure, but with clarity. You are seen. You are known. You are defended. You are exalted, not by man, but by God. Not through titles, but through truth. Not through applause, but through alignment. The approval of heaven now rests upon you like a robe. The covering of the Most High wraps around your shoulders. You do not need to convince anyone of who you are. You only need to walk with authority, with purpose, with vision sharpened by betrayal, and wisdom born from stillness. Let peace reign in your heart now. Not the temporary peace that comes from being liked, but the eternal peace that flows from being aligned. Let rest return to your soul. The battle has shifted. The fire has passed. The Spirit has spoken. The sword of Michael has drawn the line, and your portion is secure. You are now walking forward, not wounded, but weaponized. You are walking forward, not afraid, but anointed. You are walking forward, not confused, but called. The realm of the Spirit has realigned itself in your favor. The path ahead of you is open. The door that no man can shut hath been unlocked. The angelic hosts are marching with you, and the voice of heaven is thundering this final decree into your soul. You are sealed. You are seen. You are sent. Now rise. Every moment you doubted was seen. Every tear you cried was bottled. Every time you wanted to give up but kept walking, it was counted. And now, your name is echoing through the chambers of heaven. The favor assigned to your next season cannot be stopped, because the warfare of your last season was the proving ground. You passed the test. You held your posture. And now, the gates are opening. This is not the end. This is the launch. This is your beginning, not in title, not in applause, but in truth. And the truth is, you are chosen for such a time as this. Rise. What? Speak. And remember, no compliment, no flattery, no false support can ever replace what heaven has already declared about you. Let this word burn in your spirit and anchor your soul. You are no longer influenced by appearances. You are guided by the divine. You are not manipulated by praise. You are grounded in purpose. You are no longer accessible to the schemes of the enemy, because now you walk with angels at your side and the glory of the Lord as your rear guard. Let this final declaration echo through the heavens and resound in your soul. I am chosen. I am covered. I am commissioned. Now go, not in fear but in fullness. Not in doubt but in dominion. Not in silence but in spirit-led speech. Archangel Michael has gone before you. The way is clear. The gate is open. You are ready. Type I am sent in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 3030 is now permanently marked upon your purpose.